Hi everyone, welcome to 30 Something Diaries. This is your host Pooja Singh. Today I'm going to talk about something very important. This is going to be our first episode here, so I thought it is befitting that chapter 1 in 30 Something Diaries be about self care. I want to ask you a question and I want you to be honest when you answer it. What comes to your mind when you think about the word self care? This is a very non judgment space, and I am not asking you to give me the perfect answer. I'm just asking you to look within yourself and really deeply think about the fact that how do you take care of yourself? It doesn't have to be an intellectual answer. It doesn't even have to be a particularly socially catered answer. Or you also do not have to tell me if you're still coy, if you're still shy. But I still want you to look within yourself and think, really think, what are the things that you do when it comes to taking care of yourself? Or have you learned how to take care of yourself in this long life that you have lived so far? I also know there is no one size fit all answer here. It is not a yes or no answer, and it is also very subjective. What is the definition of self care for someone? And whatever it is, that is okay. If I were to answer this question, self care has always been something very complicated for me. In the 30 years that I have lived on this planet, I've come to realize now that my idea of self care, even from the beginning, was really not something that was gonna work for a person like me. It has always been complicated for a person like me to think and to believe that I need to take care of myself and actually do the things that are supposed to make me feel like I'm taking care of myself. Starting from my early 20s, I wouldn't talk about when I was a teenager. I really did not have any idea of taking care of myself because I drew my self worth from academics, from performing, from achieving things. And in that process, I never stopped and thought that I deserve to do self care. I deserve to take care of myself. And I want to be clear here as well. I am not talking about self love. Self love and self care can be two different things. Of course, self care comes from a sense of self worth, but self care can also mean surviving sometimes. Self care can also mean just having tools and understanding yourself and knowing what you want at any particular situation. Self love can be different than self care. I'm only talking about self care today. Growing up, I had no idea of what does it mean to take care of yourself and why do you need to take care of yourself. In my 20s, I looked at a lot of productivity videos. I looked at every other creator, every other answer in the book because I feel I really needed to take care of myself. Around that time, I was struggling with a lot of mental health issues and I wanted to be able to take care of myself, but I derived the idea of self-care from internet as one do. And I got lost. I feel I got sucked into this honey trap of just productivity being a way of self-care, just being organized and just being the best version of yourself, an idea of self-care and trying to achieve it all. And that is something that you do for self-worth, let's say, for yourself. But it also means this is the only way you can take care of yourself. In my 30s, now that I am entering a new decade, I have really shed all of those ideas, left them behind, and I have been able to understand that at any given point of time, self care looks different. And even when I thought and I decided that I wanted to take care of myself, my idea of self care was meant to be really practical, really something that was supposed to work for me. I was also in survival mode, so I should have been able to take care of myself in a survival mindset, have practical ways that are going to lift me up and that are going to take me through this journey that I was going through. Rather, I got distracted. I was very lost because the things that I was seeing online and the things that were happening within me and the areas that I was trying to touch in my life were not aligning. Thankfully, I'm here to tell the tale. Thankfully, I'm here to understand that things take time. It is really a individual process where you go back, sit with yourself and understand What are the triggers that trigger you? What are the stimuli around you that affect your mental health and affect your health? How do you actually have a mechanism and a talk with yourself where you sit with yourself, sit with your thoughts, imbibe that practice of taking care of yourself like it is routine work, like it is sustenance, because let me tell you, it is sustenance. And once you really, really are able to at least understand what you need in a particular situation, what you need in a particular state of your life, age of your life, to be able to feel like I'm taking care of myself. Once you are able to do that, then you start on another journey of practicing it, arriving at that point, and learning to live that life. But before even you do that, you need to have a talk with yourself. Let's have that talk today. I asked you in the beginning, what does self care mean to you? And as I said, there is no one size fit all answer here, but you can start at understanding the intentions behind taking care of yourself. Different people are in different stages of life. They come from different backgrounds. They have different temperaments and reactions to things. That is why anyone who is looking for the right answers or the right ways to do self care is going to be very subjective. But what does it mean? I always believe that if you have the intentions right behind doing something, even if you are doing it the wrong way, even if you haven't figured out the right way to arrive at the point where you want to be, the intentions are right, you will find a way and you will do it for the right reasons. Right reasons are also subjective, reasons that speak to you, reasons that work for you. Self care for someone can mean like being very practical in their life, having tools around themselves that help them be better mentally, physically. They have understood the way their body works, they have understood the way their mind works, they have also understood the way they behave in certain situations. And so they need to be careful with it. And if they burn themselves out, if they are always going to run low on this energy, this muscle, where they are constantly feeling like they are getting burnt out and they are not able to even understand how to react in a certain situation because they never thought about it. They never had a mechanism around taking a step back. They never had a mechanism around learning to imbibe small habits during their day that speaks to them, that tells them that even in your busy day, even in a lot of responsibilities that you have, you do small things for yourself. Self care can look like this for someone. Self care for someone else might look like completely detaching themselves from the reality and going into their shell and not exposing themselves to things that trigger them and taking their own sweet time healing from whatever is happening in their life. Having that savings or resources or help from around you, but also using and leveraging that store when you really need it rather than putting it off and actually telling yourself, I'm going to take a little break and just figure out what I want to do. But it's okay. I'll not be anxious. I'll actually learn and do things to be able to take care of myself. And that is my definition of self care. Self care for someone else might look like really going after their goals and really hitting their physical and fitness goals because they feel that they haven't been able to be their fittest self in the last few years, or they never learned how to take care of their bodies and it shows. It shows in their body that they are weak or they're not where they want to be or they don't like the way they look. It is perfectly valid for people to feel like that, right? So, self care for them can mean really accelerating on your goals, really hitting hard, really pushing their limits, physical and mental limits, to arrive at a point that they want to. This is a different kind of way to take care of yourself. Whether it be slowing down, whether it be really moving fast in the direction of your goals, or whether it be learning to find a fine balance between the two. Whatever is your idea of self care, it is perfectly valid. I just want you to have the right intentions. Do not do self care just because you saw someone else do it. Do not derive ideas from others' idea of self care. You can take tips. You can be encouraged. You can be inspired, but you cannot copy someone else's ways to do things. And you also need to understand why you are doing this, for who you are doing this. Are you doing it to prove something to someone, or are you doing it for taking care of yourself. Really, self care, when it comes to self care, I feel this is a really personal connection, relationship that you have with yourself, and you need to honor it, and you need to also harbor it within yourself. So, you have to be honest with yourself all the time. You don't have to be honest with anyone else. If you don't want to be, you don't have to be honest with me here. Don't have to be honest with your family, with your partner, if you want to do that. When it comes to what is your idea of self care, so you can really decide, keep a secret within yourself, but you cannot lie to yourself that you want to be your fittest self just because you saw this influencer look really nice. All of us get biased when we look at pictures, we get encouraged. I always like to think of these things as inspirations or encouragement, but then I go back and take a step back and have this conversation with myself that am I going to spend my time and effort doing something that I want to do and that is going to enhance my life because I understood what value it brings in my life? Or would I rather just look at someone else and try to follow them and waste my time and energy and go after something that I really don't understand in the first place? Why self care is so hard in your 30s? It is very important to take care of yourself in whatever age you are. I don't deny that fact. But in your 30s, I feel you need to take care of yourself a little bit more, and it gets harder and harder. The more you age, the more responsibilities come your way, the more work you are doing. And this is when it is all the more important to develop a relationship with yourself where you know if things are going bad, even if external factors are not working in your favor, you have a mechanism to keep loving yourself. You have a mechanism to understand that you need to take care of yourself. And once you have this relationship with yourself, I am going to promise you that a lot of big things that daunt you, that make you feel overwhelmed and anxious, that is not going to happen. You will be more in tune with your mind and body, and you will feel more in control of your own life now more than ever. And once you do that, I promise you, you're going to achieve whatever you have put your mind to, and you're also going to enjoy your life so much more because you know what you're doing and why you are doing. And learning to take care of yourself is something that should be paramount, that should be as essential as brushing your teeth in the morning. But unfortunately, we never learn how to do that. Do you remember growing up how all of your needs were taken care of by a guardian or a caretaker or your parents, and you really did not have to think about what do you need in the next minute? Do you want to eat? Are you hungry? You just go to your parent and tell them that this is what your need is right now, and someone will fulfill it. If you're not feeling good, then also you'll go to a guardian or caretaker and tell them how you are feeling, and they will help you out in understanding and reaffirming your feeling and take care of yourself. But when we grow up and when responsibilities come our way and we are only taking care of things around us and people around us, we do not learn how to stop and take care of ourselves the same way someone else was doing for us. And somewhere along the way, when we grow up, when we are growing old, we keep moving further from a younger self that was very well taken care of without judgment, without any prejudices, without any stigma, without feeling this suffocation that you are not what you are supposed to be. And it's really just as simple as you're feeling this, you're feeling X, Y is the solution, and there is no judgment. There should not be any judgment around it. But unfortunately, we never learn to do that. If you are starting now, whether you are in your 20s, in your 30s, and especially for women my age, or younger than me, older than me, we often overlook our own needs. We often put other people before us. We often do not know how to form firm boundaries, especially as a woman coming from India. I have seen women around me and me as well learn and imbibe this fact that your needs are not very important. You first need to take care of everyone else around you because you have a very nurturing role in the society. You have a very caretaking role in the society. And this is why you should put your needs before anyone else's needs. When I started taking care of my own needs, let me tell you, I have been able to take care of everyone else's needs around me in a much better manner because I come from a place of security. I come from a place of I put the oxygen mask first on me, then took care of someone else. And when that happens, you are able to give more. You are able to pour more from your cup rather than feeling like your cup is almost empty, but you're supposed to give someone else from that same cup, which doesn't have any energy left in it. Also, in your 30s, I feel the more responsibilities that you get, the more settled in your life you want to feel. In your 30s, you're also looking for some kind of stability. The dust has settled down from your younger years. You have explored a bit of the landscape. You want to work on your goals and responsibilities, be it financial, career, fitness, personal goals, family goals, all of that comes into picture in your 30 and you want to see fulfilled, right? And when that happens, you're going to be putting in a lot of work in all aspects, in all areas of your life you want to enhance, right? So that means more responsibility, more discipline, and that also means more self care. I have seen a lot of people around me in their 30s work towards their fitness goals now because they realize that body is body, age is age. And before you know it, if you don't start now, your bones are going to be brittle, you will not have the strength and the metabolism you had in your younger years. And we also have a lot of stress. You sit, I have a desk job, a lot of my friends have a desk job. You sit in front of a computer all day long. So, mentally and physically, it is very sedentary. And when that happens, you need to have a more holistic viewpoint of your life. You have to have a more stable foundation to your days so that you can be where you want to be and you get to live all the goals that you're trying to tick off in your 30s. And for that, you need a healthy body. So, you start working on your fitness goal. You also want to be financially healthy. You want to be able to feel that you are earning some money. And as an act of self care, you are spending on yourself. You also want to be around loving people. You also want to be around relationships that make you happy, friendships that make you happy. You are no longer the younger person where you are in a new friend group ever so often. You want more stable friendships. So, as an act of self care, you invest time in other people's life, friends that make you happy, who you are yourself around, and probably do not go running around. And you probably don't feel the need to have like 100 friends, but the few friends that you have, you really want to invest energy in, and it makes you happy in the end. So, that is another form of self care. But it's hard. It's not easy to be able to chalk out time from our really, really busy lives, already busy lives, where we are the responsible adults. We are the ones who are supposed to take care of everything around us. And we are also armed with the task of taking care of ourselves. But it is important and you need to make a note of it. And how do you do that? Some practical and not so practical Delulu ways of how you can include self care in your daily routines and really benefit from it without feeling the need to be pressurized to do something just for the sake of doing it, and really have a good relationship with yourself that works the best for you. I feel, and I realized this quite late in my life, that in the society that we live in the modern society that we find ourselves in, the idea of self care has become really individualistic and from a consumerist point of view. This is not a commentary on the fact that you don't need to buy a lot of things and you shouldn't be wasting your money, or not even a commentary on how you need people around you and how the society is moving towards loneliness. We are not here for that. We are here for you. Having said that, I want you to think of self care from a perspective of you can do self care at any point in your life. You can do self care with any money that you have. And you can also do self care and learn how to take care of yourself with or without people. But I feel having a more holistic viewpoint for things and having a more balanced viewpoint and having people around you is always good. This is coming from a former introvert. I have always been one of those people who think and who feel and who are pretty good, hyper independent people who are really good taking care of themselves on their own. And so I never used to invest a lot of energy in meeting my friends. I would not invest a lot of time and energy into thinking that I need to be part of a society, I need to be part of people around me. But I was really wrong. I was really missing out on this social connection. And we as humans are social beings. You don't really have to have 100 people in your life around you, but you still need to have physical connections. You still need to get out of your phone and your computer to meet real people and have experiences in real life. And having a community around you doing things for others is also a kind of self care that you should be doing. So, there are few pillars in your busy life, in your day to day life, that you should be working towards, that you should understand what they bring to your life. And you should understand that if you keep them stable, keep watering that grass, it will grow and it will help you in your good and bad days alike. Simplest of things, mornings. Let's talk about mornings. Mornings should be a little bit sacred. Morning should be for taking a breather, like 5 minutes before you log into your work. Because all of us, when we wake up in the morning, there are 100 of things running in our mind. We look at our phones and start checking emails the first thing in the morning, start checking Slack messages the first thing in the morning, or just log in the first thing in the morning. Rather than that, take a step back for 5 minutes, maybe listen to a song while you're brushing your teeth, maybe do your skincare in the morning for 5 minutes, even before logging in, looking at your phone. Or maybe you tell yourself you're going to get up from your bed, go to your kitchen, warm up some water, have that water for 5 minutes, and then you take on the task. And then you do the things that you're supposed to do. It only takes like 5 minutes. You don't have to spend 30 minutes on it. But once you start doing this, once you take care of something slowly in the morning, and then when you sit and write your to do list, you are more calmer, saner. You set the tone for the morning, you set the tone for the day in a way. And I am going to promise you, you're going to be more productive when you do that. Another pillar of your life is your body and your fitness. I am a firm believer of moving your body every single day, even if it means you log off from your work what time you are able to, and you straight away put your earphones in and go for a walk. Go for a 10 minutes walk. Go for a 20-minute walk. Go for an hour long walk. But go out in the nature, look at the birds, look at the greenery around you, look at the flowers, just observe everything around you or think of the day that went by. But do this for your body. Because as you move your body, some neurons in your brain start working. It makes you feel happier. There are serotonins going to be rushing through your body, and a lot of your thoughts are going to be out of your mind and into your body, and you're going to feel calmer. At the end of the day, this is a ritual that you can follow. And it also makes you feel like you're taking care of your body. This is an act of self care. This is something that you are doing for yourself. On a personal level, this is something that I am trying to do more of, especially a woman, especially someone who is really busy and ambitious, and I do 1,000 things during the day, all of the things that I want to do. But I so often overlook my physical appearance. I so often do not look at myself in the mirror the first thing in the morning. I so often do not work towards grooming myself, or I really need to change my nail paint, or I really need to try out that new lipstick that I bought, but I haven't been able to use it or enjoy it, so to say. So, little things, little connection, or little being in touch with my feminine energy is what I am trying to do. I also try to talk to my fellow female friends for feminine things that make me feel like a human again, or things that actually make my life feel more fun. And on a lighter note, I'm able to share this experience with my girlfriends and also feel like the way how I look. I like to take care of myself. If I'm going to work or outside, I know what looks good on me. All of these things I wouldn't do in my 20s. I would always think that that's okay. It is pretty vain. You don't need to do that. But looking presentable, feeling good in your body, and feeling like you take care of yourself, take care of the little things, not to show anyone else, but for yourself, not in a consumerist way, not how things are being told around you that you need to buy the best makeup product out there to feel like you care about yourself, or you need to have 10 self care products, 10 skincare products, hair care products in your kitty so that you can experience all of that. You can throw away all the money that you are earning. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the fact that you find areas in your life where you want to feel like a human, you want to feel like you're taking care of yourself again. And little things like getting a haircut, getting a manicure, just sitting at home and making it a ritual every weekend to paint your nails, change your nail paint. This is a small thing, small habit that I started doing. And it makes me feel happier because on the weekends, I'm always running from pillar to post. I'm doing a million things and then it gets overlooked. And before I know it, I haven't even looked at myself in the mirror for like hours, which is not good. You need to feel like a person. You need to feel like you take care of yourself. You are a human body. You are not just a machine. So you have to do that. And then when I talk about individual self care, I also want to include social connections around you, the social self care that you need to do. And as a human, you also need to feel like you are doing things for others, and others are a really important part of life as you are of them. So, this love, this relationship that you harbor and that you honor and that you invest in, whether it be your partner, whether it be your family, your siblings, or your friends and family, it is going to bring so much joy in your life. It is going to make you feel like you are a person and it's more for you. It's more for you, the self care that you are doing, that you are honoring your nurturing energy. You are involved in other people's life, not just over the internet, not just through your work, through your whatever you give others. It is just a very unconditional kind of relationship you have with some friends, and you give them advice, you are involved in their life, you do things for them, little gifts that you pick up for them while you are out, or you give them a call when they are just having a tough day at work and just listen to them rant. All of these little things that you do unconditionally without a self centered attitude makes you feel human again, makes you feel like you are also someone not very involved in just your life. You're not overthinking your own life, but you have more worth than just your work, than just your family, maybe. But there are some people out there in the world who love you for who you are and who you also love for whoever they are. And you really take out time to be involved in their life. Ever since I have started doing it more, I have been really happier. And I also needed to be more conscious of my surroundings rather than just being on my phone, just creating content, just being on the video, just being at work. And I really started doing that. I really started calling my friends. I really started messaging them here and there during my day. And it always brings a smile to my face. Like, I am a human. I'm taking care of my social need here, where I need to be present in others' life, where I need to feel like I'm part of a community, a part of a larger picture, not just someone who is residing within her head and just thinking of my life existing within my head. You need to have social connection. You need to have a way of finding people around you whose life you can be involved in and feeling like you are part of the community. So you need to do that. Just one bonus point before I wrap up this. I also feel, just going back to the theme of being more conscious around yourself, being more conscious in your own life, being more aware of your surrounding, do things that make you feel like that. Just put your phone away for a little bit, go out for a walk, cook your favorite meals without putting on any audiobook or anything in the background. Just put on some nice music, make it a Friday night thing and enjoy it. Do not be on your phone again. Maybe cater to your plants, water them, be out in the sun, do yoga, look at the birds, look at the ducks, go walk in a park or sit in a park and read a book, but don't be on your phone. Be more conscious of your surroundings, of things around you. This is a very small thing. This is something that is not talked about too much. Maybe it is, I don't know. But just being there, just being aware of you are a person with all their needs and quirks and messy parts and the good parts, everything just makes you human. And honoring that part of you and respecting that part of you is a kind of self care that no one is going to give you kudos for. But it is very important because you need to feel like you are a human. And once you do that, everything else will fall into line. You will start loving yourself also. You will start thinking of yourself as a person, not a machine who needs to be taken care of, just like the little kid that you once was. And you always felt loved and taken care of and like your needs are met. The only difference is that you need to do it for yourself. And it's a beautiful way to love yourself. Let me be honest with you. As you grow old, this is the reality of life, and this is a really beautiful reality. This is the cycle of life. You will do it for someone else when your time comes, but for now, you need to do it for yourself. So, self care isn't selfish, it is essential. It doesn't even have to be perfect on a given day, it just has to be practical. It doesn't have to be Instagram worthy, it just has to be taking care of your own needs, giving yourself the permission to take care of your own needs and feel like you are worthy of all the love and care that you are bestowing on yourself. No matter how small, it helps you keep grounded, human, and a little happier. Start really small. Pick one small thing today. Even a 5-minute activity counts. And if you really mess up, you're not perfect, that's okay. Tomorrow is another day. You'll have another chance. This is a very long life that you are living, and you have a lot of time in this world. You deserve it, all of it, and you really don't have any excuses anymore to keep overlooking yourself. Self care isn't selfish, it is essential.